In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create this really cool car canopy in Revit. It's going to be fully parametric, but also it's going to be adaptive because we're going to be modeling it as a railing family. This will give us added bonus of being able to place it as a straight line, but also as curved lines. Let's go. Now quickly, before we jump into Revit, I would just like to ask you to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. We have over 150 hours of Revit courses, and we are an Autodesk authorized training center. If you're serious about mastering Revit, that's definitely the place to be. The link will be up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. Now, without any further ado, let's jump straight into Revit. And here we are in Revit, and let's get started by modeling the baluster for this railing. So that's going to be kind of the structural part, what's holding the canopy. So I'm going to go here to the File menu and then go to New, Family, and then here I'm going to pick out a metric baluster family template. I'm going to hit Open. Now here, in most cases, you're going to be using this left elevation to model out the baluster. The reason is, of course, you're kind of going in line with the railing. Now in this case, because this is a canopy, it's actually going to be perpendicular to the line of the railing. So let's switch to the front elevation, and now let's make some changes. So first, I'm just going to move this all the way up. Now this is a parameter, so I'm just going to cancel out of here and then go to family types. And here, the baluster height, I'm going to set to 3000 millimeters and then hit apply. Now I'm just going to zoom out and perhaps extend this a little bit like so, and here as well. And now let's add a couple of vertical reference planes that are going to basically control kind of the extents of this canopy, so how far is kind of covering on each side. So for that, let's go here to create, let's go to reference plane, and then I'm just going to be placing two reference planes just like this. Now I'm going to add some dimension lines, so let's go here to aligned dimension. DI is the shortcut. Place one dimension here, one dimension here, and let's make those parametric. So select the dimension, go to create parameter, and let's call this one W1 for width 1. Click OK. This one will be W2 for width 2. Click OK. Okay, so once we have those two in place, the next step is going to be to start kind of creating this canopy here on top. Now first, let me adjust these dimensions a little bit. I'm going to make this one 2000 millimeters and then this one 3000 millimeters, giving us 5000 millimeters in total, which is kind of the average length of a parking space. Okay, so once we have that in place, now it's time to model out kind of the top of this structure. For that, I'm just going to go back here to create a reference, but not reference plane. We're going to use reference lines. Here we need to pick a plane, so I'm just going to go with the, so this is the center front back that I'm going to be using. Click OK. And now find this intersection between the vertical reference plane and the horizontal one, and then go all the way out to here, and then hit the escape key, and then go from here to there, just like that. Hit the escape key a couple of times. Now you need to make sure that this is all constrained properly, so you go to the Align tool, AL is the shortcut, select this point, lock it in place, select again this vertical one, the other point, and then lock that one in place. Here I'm just going to select the horizontal one, lock the point in place, horizontal one, lock the other point in place, and here also vertically kind of lock these things, just like so. Okay, so once this is locked, we also need to define the angle. This is going to be really important. So let's go here to the dimensions, and let's go with angular dimension and make a dimension here and here as well, just like so. And again, this will be parametric. So create parameter, this will be A1 for angle 1, and then this one will be obviously A2 for angle 2, just like that. Okay, now let's go here to family types, and then here in the family types, let's play around with these angles. So I'm just going to make this one 15, or actually let's go with 20 for A1 and then 15 for A2. Hit apply, okay, now it looks like that. Okay, so once all of this is in place, now it's time to actually apply geometry. For geometry, let's go to create, let's go to extrusion, and then I'm just going to use pick lines to pick a line, and here just check on lock, so it's immediately locking it in place, see? Just like so. Here, then let's add an offset of 60 millimeters. And then I'm just going to add these two just like so. And finally, let's add an offset of 120 for here and here. Okay, once all of this is in place, the next step is going to be to trim it. So let's go to trim and extend to corner and fix it up just like so. Here as well, and then just like this. Okay, oh, we need the one on the bottom, so let's do that. I'm just going to go with pick lines and pick it here and fix that up. I'm also going to be making this parametric, so let's add an aligned dimension like so, here as well, and then we can do one here. Let's actually first create an equalizer just like this, EQ, and then place a dimension like so. If this is going kind of too quickly, don't worry. If you go to balkanarchitect.com, all of our courses are a lot slower, and I can explain every click and so on. But for this YouTube video, I like to kind of do it a bit faster, so it doesn't take way too long and make it like a 30-minute YouTube video. So anyways, let's now continue. Here, I'm just going to select these three dimensions and make those into parameters. So this will be, let's go with T1 for like thickness, I guess. Okay, that's that, and we're done. Let's hit finish and see what we have also in the floor plan view. So because it's kind of extended only to one side, let's just equalize this by going 60-60. Oops, it should go 60 minus 60, exactly. Okay, now it looks like that. And finally, let's open up the 3D view. This is what we have, and we should also flex it. So here I'm just going to play around with the dimensions a little bit to see what this is going to look like with different settings. And because everything seems to be working properly, finally it's time to just save this family. So I'm just going to go here to save. I'm going to save it on my desktop as our Canopy Baluster. Click Save. And now I'm just going to get rid of all of the views apart from the 3D view. And with all of this being done, now it's time to do the actual cover, kind of what goes on top in between these balusters. That should be modeled as a rail, a profile. So let's go here to File, New, Family. And then also I'm going to go back to English metric, and here I'm looking for a profile rail. So this is the one that we want to use. Hit open, and now we're basically building on top of this what was kind of on top of here. So how do we do that? Well, it's very simple. You just go here to line, you place a couple of lines like that. Then we're going to go to create reference planes. So let's do those that we had on the side. So exactly the same as in the previous family. Add the dimensions like so. And then here, this one is again going to be W1. So I like to keep the dimensions kind of the same name. This will be W2 for the second width. Now we need to lock all of this in place. So align, and then vertical one, lock it. Vertical one, lock it. Okay, let's see. Now, if it's picking kind of the wrong one, you hit the tab key a few times, and then it might pick the... Okay, so hopefully this is now in correct alignment. We'll flex it later. I'm just going to lock it here as well. Okay, let's just cancel out of that. Okay, hopefully it's logged, but once we flex it, we'll see if everything is working properly. And then finally, we need to align it here. And also, let's add the angle dimension. So here, I'm just going to add this angle dimension like so, and here as well, like so. This one, again, this will be a 1 for angle 1, and this will be a 2 for angle 2. Okay, so we have all of this in place. Let's now flex it as well, just to see if everything is working properly. And because it is, finally, we do need to add some sort of thickness to this. So let's go here to create line, pick lines, and then do an offset of 25 millimeters. And I'm just going to offset it like that. And then let's add without an offset here and here as well. And we need to use trim and extend to corner to fix it all up, just like that. And here like so. And we do want to control the thickness. Now, in this case, I'm not going to assign a parameter. I'm just going to assign a dimension and lock it in place just to make sure it doesn't move, but I don't really want to change this from 25 millimeters. Once this is done, we can just save this family. So this will be the canopy rail, and hit save. And once we have this all completed, let's load this one into project 1. Okay, and let's load this one into project 1. And it's time to put it all together here in the project 1. So here, what I'll do is I'll just go to railing and then use just a regular rail, place it on the screen, go to the 3D view just to see what that looks like. There we go, looks perfect. And now it's time to get started by clicking on Edit Type. So here is where we're making most of our changes. Let's go first to the baluster placement, click on Edit, and then here I'm just going to change the top rail element to host with a top offset of 1000 millimeters. And I'm going to do that here as well. Actually, for all of these, let's just set these to none. So for these, we don't want them, so none, none, none. And here I'm just going to set this to host so it doesn't give us any issues. Hit apply, okay, and now with that setting, I can turn off the top rail here, hit apply, and now it looks like that. Coming back here, let's go back to baluster placement again. Now let's change this from this to our canopy baluster. The top offset is going to be 3000 millimeters, and the distance from previous is going to be 5000 millimeters, which is kind of the width of 2 parking spaces. So we're going to have one vertical element or one column between 2 parking spaces. Then let's move forward here for these balusters and treads. We don't really care about that. So pretty much we're done with the settings here. So let's hit apply. Okay, apply and see what this looks like, and it looks like that, so perfect. Let's then go to rail structure. Let's insert a rail. For the profile, go with our canopy profile. For material, let's just try glass. Let's see, do we have something like that? We do, perfect. And then the height is going to be also 3000 millimeters. Hit apply, okay, apply. And this is what we have. Now here, as you can see, it seems to be kind of going the other way around, and this is an issue, but don't worry, we can actually fix this. So what we'll do is we just need to find the one of these. So let's say we want to find the canopy or the canopy rail. So just search here for canopy rail. Right click on this one and go to type properties, and then here we're just going to spin this around. So this will be 3500, this will be 1500, hit apply, okay, and then let's go to the 3D view here, see what's going on. Okay, so now it is matching in terms of the kind of the side. We can change this to realistic to make it look a bit nicer. Okay, so we have a matching kind of direction. We just don't have mismatched angles. So again, we can search for canopy, and then let's go to baluster, and let's see here, right click, type properties. So here it's A1 is 25, A2 is 17. So with that information, okay, I think we should just put these the other way around. So let's go back to rail, type properties. So let's try 1725, hit apply, okay. And now, as you can see, it's matching. And the best part about this is you can double click, you can extend it as long as you want, and then it's going to look like this. Of course, you can change the justification of these. So if I select it, go into edit type, and go to balusters, I can set this from spread to set it to spread to fill the pattern. Hit apply. Okay, it should look a bit better now with that. Yes, and of course the best part is we can create this as a curve. So let's actually go here to edit type and just rename this. So it's Canopy. Okay, and now let's create a new one. So let's go to railing, Canopy, arc, and then we can do something like this. So as you can see, it can follow that arced shape, which looks really cool. Of course, we can kind of adjust it and create even different types, different shapes, and so on. The whole point is to make it parametric. Also, if you would like to get really cool and realistic car families as these in this image, those are available on balkanarchitect.com. Just go to our families page, and there you can find some really high quality Revit families, including these car families. Also, if you would like to get access to this Canopy project file, you can find all of our Revit project files on our Patreon page, which I'm going to link up in the cards above and also down in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.